Have you ever wondered what it takes for a country to step into a world it carefully avoided for centuries? This week, Sweden is making history. For the first time ever, it is sending its Gripen fighter jets to participate in NATO's Steadfast Noon nuclear drill. Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson emphasized why this matters. In an increasingly uncertain world, NATO needs a credible nuclear capability to prevent attacks against the alliance. Steadfast Noon contributes to ensuring this. Think about that for a moment. Sweden, a nation that avoided military alliances for over 200 years, is now taking part in a nuclear-focused exercise. Not only is this a historic step, but it also signals a dramatic shift in Sweden's security policy, moving from neutrality to active engagement in Europe's defense framework. This move follows Finland's recent participation with its F/A-18 Hornets, showing a broader Nordic response to rising global tensions. The Netherlands will host the exercise next week, and both Sweden and Finland's involvement underscores the strategic importance of air power in nuclear deterrence, even for countries traditionally wary of nuclear matters. For analysts and aviation enthusiasts alike, the deployment of Saab Gripens is more than just military logistics. It's a symbolic statement. Sweden is preparing to defend itself and contribute to Europe's collective security in ways that were unimaginable just a few years ago. Last year, Steadfast Noon saw an impressive show of Allied coordination. 13 countries, over 60 aircraft, including nuclear-capable jets, bombers, and fighter escorts. But it wasn't just about the planes in the sky. Refueling aircraft, reconnaissance planes, and electronic warfare systems also took part. Every move was designed to reinforce the strength and credibility of NATO's nuclear deterrence. This year, reports suggest the exercise has expanded. 71 aircraft from 14 nations are participating. And here's an important point: no live nuclear weapons are used. The goal is clear: demonstrate capability, coordination, and deterrence without crossing the nuclear line. Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson put it bluntly: in an increasingly uncertain world, NATO needs a credible nuclear capability to prevent attacks against the alliance. Steadfast Noon contributes to ensuring this. Meanwhile, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte emphasized the exercise's political message. It sends a clear signal to any potential adversary that we will and can protect and defend all allies against all threats. For Sweden, this is more than a show of force. Although it joined NATO only in March 2024, questions remained about how openly Stockholm would embrace a nuclear-backed alliance. At a June 2024 seminar in Stockholm, NATO's head of nuclear policy, Jim Stokes, urged Sweden to educate its public about the importance of joining a nuclear alliance. That's why today's announcement is historic. Defense Minister Paul Johnson made the stakes clear. By participating with conventional Gripen combat aircraft in Steadfast Noon, Sweden contributes to ensuring that NATO's nuclear deterrence remains credible, robust, and effective. In short, Sweden isn't just flying jets, it's sending a powerful message. Neutrality is over, and active participation in Europe's nuclear deterrence is now part of its strategy. Let's be clear, Swedish and Finnish jets will not touch nuclear weapons. Their role is entirely about practicing conventional support, using Gripen and F/A-18 Hornet jets to contribute to NATO's nuclear deterrence strategy, known as Snowcat, support of nuclear operations with conventional air tactics. But don't underestimate the value of this. As William Alberkey, former director of NATO's weapons control, explained during Sweden's membership application in 2022, with conventional air tactics, one can, for example, escort combat aircraft loaded with simulated nuclear weapons, or in actual combat, real nuclear weapons. Each ally can participate according to their own preferences and national political decisions. Here's the critical part. To ensure NATO's security, the United States maintains B-61 nuclear weapons in Europe. These remain under strict U.S. custody and fully comply with the Non-Proliferation Treaty. In a NATO nuclear mission, only certified dual-capable aircraft would deliver the weapons, and this action would be supported by conventional forces. Crucially, such a mission requires explicit approval from NATO's Nuclear Planning Group, involving Sweden and Finland's defense ministers, and authorization from the leaders of Washington and London. In other words, Sweden and Finland are actively training and integrating into NATO's nuclear deterrence framework, without ever crossing the line into handling nuclear arms themselves. It's a careful balancing act, demonstrating capability, solidarity, and readiness while respecting national policies and global treaties. Europe hides a nuclear reality most people rarely see. Roughly half of the US B-61 tactical bombs are stored at NATO bases in Germany, Belgium, Italy, the Netherlands, and Turkey, ready to be carried by specially certified fighter aircraft. The B-1612, whose production was completed in early 2025, modernized the bomb's accuracy, reliability, and lifespan. Certified aircraft include the F-15E, F-35A, B-2, F-16, and the German Tornado, with certification for Italy's Tornado and the future B-21 bomber ongoing. And the modernization continues. The B-1613 is coming, designed with a much higher yield, potentially up to 360 kilotons, a major leap from the 50 kilotons of the B-1612. For exercises like Steadfast Noon, Sweden and Finland aren't handling nuclear weapons. Their jets focus on support, escort, and conventional tactics, essential parts of NATO's nuclear deterrence plan. But make no mistake, behind these training missions, the combination of modernized bombs and newly certified aircraft is quietly reshaping NATO's nuclear posture, increasing readiness, deterrence, and the strategic signal to potential adversaries. From my perspective, what's striking isn't just the jets or bombs, it's how carefully Sweden and NATO are balancing readiness with restraint. This shows a new level of strategic responsibility, preparing for the worst while making sure no line is crossed unnecessarily. For me, that's both reassuring and a reminder of how delicate modern security really is. So there you have it, Sweden's historic step into NATO's nuclear drills isn't just about jets or exercises, it's a bold statement about preparedness, strategy, and the future of European defense. If you found this insight eye-opening, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications here at ViperJet Wings, because we're just getting started with the stories that really matter in the world of aviation and defense.